Hello, and welcome to a new YouTube series called Benefits Culture. Now, anyone who knows my work, whether it's my stand up or other sort of articles I've written, you'll know that I have spoken quite a lot about my experience of being on benefits. That I've spent probably half my life on benefits. I mean, frankly, I was on child benefit as a child, so that was quite a lot of my life, really. That still counts as a benefit. And then after leaving school, I've signed on. I've got very close family members who claim PIP. And so I wanted to look at different forms of culture that represents people on benefits. And I thought, what better way to start the series than talking about I, Daniel Blake, the stage adaptation. Now, this has been adapted by Ken Loach, not by Ken Loach. Oh, I knew I'd say the wrong things. But now, this has been adapted by Dave Johns, who played Daniel Blake in the film, and he's adapted it for the stage version. Now, this has been adapted by Dave Johns, who played Daniel Blake in the film. He's adapted it for the stage version, and I mean, it's just brilliant. It's absolutely. I mean, it feels strange to call something that is as hard hitting and as emotive as this brilliant because, like, I was speaking to my partner about this. It's a strange thing from my experience because watching something like this, um, I see a lot of my dad in the Daniel Blake character. Um, like, I see a lot of him in that. My dad's on PIP, he's been found not fit for work, and he's had a lot of similar conversations to Daniel Blake in both the film and the stage version. And also, I see a lot of my own experiences when I was signing on in my early 20s and I was really skint, I was really struggling to get by, and I found myself in some very difficult, horrible, depressing situations. And so I see a lot of both my dad's experiences and my experiences in something like this. So you have two massive, or at least three massive clashes of emotions. You have the genuine joy of seeing your story and your experience projected in the arts and feeling not alone and feeling like you're seen and feeling like other people have lived through similar experiences and have empathy for what you've been through. And that's beautiful and amazing. And I really can't thank Ken Loach enough for making the film because, that was the first time I think a lot of us saw those experiences in a modern piece of media. But also, you have the real anger and rage that this is still going on, that it's still the reality. There are still so many people finding themselves in these situations, like I, Daniel Blake, like the Katie in the play, like so many other people, like me, like my dad. Like my dad's still in the situation. Do you know what I mean? We're not apart from that situation. That's always going to be the case for our family. He's always going to have to rely on some sort of benefit because he's not well enough to work. So we're always going to be in that situation, having those similar fears and anxieties that are shown in the play. So you have that real anger, but also that real just flood of emotion. Like I was in tears so many times throughout the play, like I was when I watched the film, because it just the the injustice, man, the absolute incredible injustice and the horrible way people are treated, and so it hits me on a deep emotional level. This play, it really did. I was, I will say for people, if you've watched the film and you're thinking, does this play live up to the film? Then yes, it really does. I mean, in fact, I'd say there are some ways in that this play um, does some things sort of better than the film. That's not to say anything bad about the film. The film was extraordinary and incredible, and the film does some things better than the play. That's always going to be the way with different mediums. But there are some things this play does with, like, the use of social media and contrasting um, what politicians say with the reality of the situation, that makes you absolutely furious, and it's so effective. It's so incredibly done. Like, such a smart move from the the directors and the team behind this. I think they've done a fantastic job, and it's still on tour. Um, the dates are all on the back of the program here. You can buy the program at the show. You can also buy the play script at the show. It's at Theatre Royal Stratford East in London until the 28th of October. And then it's going to go on tour. I'll just show you the dates. Literally, they'll just show you there all the dates of different places it's going to be. You can see them all there. And they did a Q&A afterwards where they did say they're planning on extending it or hoping to extend it, I think they said. And I really hope they do, because I think something like this deserves to, frankly, deserves to tour forever. Like, this is always going to be such an important kind of story to tell, and a really important message, and something people need to hear, and some people don't hear enough. So frankly, I hope it's hugely successful and tours everywhere. I hope wherever you're watching this, I hope this tours there soon. Basically, an interesting thing they said in the Q&A after the show, they said they got a 2-star review from the Telegraph, and the Telegraph basically said, "Oh, we don't know how well this will transmit outside of Newcastle." Well, I grew up in the southeast, and I've still been on benefits, and my dad's still on PIP, and there's still people living in poverty here. Like, there's this weird thing people have in certain sections of the media, and even in comedy, I think, where they do kind of go, "Oh yeah, because poverty, that's everything above kind of London." Do you know what I mean? And it's like, no, there's poor people everywhere, mate. Like, even really rich areas, there'll be people living in poverty. There's still going to be people living off £7 an hour or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was a bit weird, but I was so glad it came to London, because I think it's really important. Stuff like this is shown everywhere. So yeah, just that's my little kind of short review of the play. I'm hoping to do a series of these, as I say, looking at how people on benefits are depicted in different pieces of art. I'll probably do a slightly different thing with them. I might do, I'll probably do something about I, Daniel Blake. I'll probably do something about, might talk about my own Radio 4 show. I don't know if I do that. That'd be quite self-indulgent, but it counts. It counts, so we shall see. But yeah, do see the play if you can. It's a really great job. If anyone in the cast sees it, sees this video, just know that you nailed it, and I think you've already been told this many times, but you're doing really important work that needs to be seen, and people need to see it. People need to feel it, and I'm really glad it's still a thing, and it's still a piece of work that is, reaching new audiences and resonating with people, because it's still incredibly relevant, and it's always going to be relevant. Whatever happens in the future, I think there's always going to be this stigma attached to people on benefits, regardless of who's in charge, regardless of tweaks in the system. I think it's always going to be so important that there are things like this that give that voice a platform. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely fantastic. Do go see it if you can. There's not many dates left on this first tour, but I'm really hoping to extend it. And yeah, catch you soon.